Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Camera okay, lights okay. Let's do it. Hey, how are you doing, man? I know what you're thinking right now. You're probably like, is it my dude John from Drone Mood that I haven't seen since a long time? Or maybe it's another AI tool. Legit questions nowadays, but nah, man, it's the real me. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about this guy, the Mavic 4 Pro from DJI, and we're gonna talk about all of these things in the video. But if you want to skip some part of it, you can use the chapter down below, but I recommend you to watch the entire video anyway. I'm flying with this drone since almost a year now, because I had it since it released in May 2025. Today's video is gonna be more like a user feedback, because I'm not gonna tell you the specs of this drone. You already know them, I guess. There are plenty of videos about that on YouTube, but I just want to tell you my user experience about this drone, what I like, what I don't like. But first, let me show you some of my base footage that I've captured with it during the past year, 2025. I hope you guys have enjoyed the shots. Now let's talk about the flight time first. DJI says that we can fly 51 minutes, but like always, it's not the truth. I've flown like 35 to 45 minutes maximum. It depends on the weather conditions, the wind, the cold, the hot weather. It depends on a lot of things, but the maximum I've flown was 45 minutes. And it's great flying around 45 minutes. It's mostly 40 to 45 minutes, to be honest. It's only when it's really cold outside or really hot, the flight time is reducing to 35 minutes. And by the way, when it's really cold outside, I recommend you to just warm up the drone, like turn it on, turn the motors on, and wait like 30 seconds before taking off. That way the drone is going to be a bit more warm, so it's better to do that. And speaking about weather conditions, you can fly it under the rain, I mean light rain, and snow. Just be careful about one thing. Check the direction of the rain and the snow, and be careful to not have any droplets or snowflakes landing on your lenses, because the result is not going to be great. Now let's talk about this gimbal and the different lenses. And the first thing I want to talk about, the 360 gimbal. For me, it's a gimmick. I prefer to do that in post, except for my personal projects. If I want to do this effect, for a transition, for example, or something like that. But for a client, I will never do that, except if I show them a video with this effect and they want it. Imagine if you're doing by yourself, like, oh, I'm sure they're gonna love it. But at the end, they don't like it and they say, no, we want normal footage, not spinning like that. What are you doing if you have only the spinning shots? You are fucked up. For me, it's just a gimmick and I rarely use it. This lens is the one that I use the most, 6K up to 60 FPS, which is insane. That way, if you need to crop in post, you can do it without losing that much quality, except if you zoomed in like a lot. Talking about photos, 100 megapixel photos, crazy good too. You can basically have multiple photos in one. You can crop different part of your photos and the quality is still insanely good. And that's why having 100 megapixel on a drone is insane. This one is really great to create more focused shots with a bit of compression. The quality is excellent too. You can shoot 4K up to 60 frames per second. There is no 5K or 6K, but 4K is more than enough. For photos, 48 megapixel, really great too. Nothing to complain about that. I absolutely love this lens. It's my favorite. The perspective it gives of any subjects, mountains, people, building, it creates a unique perspective with a massive compression. It's also really great for filming from far without disturbing people or wildlife. The quality is really good and the image is clearly more stable than it was on the Mavic 3. I've just noticed one thing with this lens, the white balance, even if you set the same as the overall lenses, the footage looks more cold. I don't know why, but it looks more cold at the end. But it's nothing, you can fix that in post. Just wanted to mention it. Here it's same than the previous one. You can shoot 4K up to 60 frames per second and you have 50 megapixel photos. Nothing more to say. For me, it's perfect. It's really great to have this option, even though the tilt range is very limited. To be honest, I'm using it mostly for photos. For example, I have a lake here and a big mountain in the background, and I want to have it all in one photo. It helps me to avoid having to create a panorama, for example. For video, sometimes if I'm sure that I'm gonna put this video on a story, that's it, or for a reel, for example, I prefer to shoot horizontal videos and then crop it in 9:16 in post if I want to create a reel or for a story. But yeah, sometimes I'm using it for videos too. I think it gives you more flexibility to shoot horizontal and then crop in vertical. At first I was shooting in D-Log, like everybody I guess, but after watching the video from Make Now, which is very interesting by the way, talking about D-Log M and dual native ISO fusion, and tested it, I have really noticed a big difference in terms of dynamic range, so now I'm shooting in D-Log M. And if you don't know yet what is dynamic range, it's the ability to capture details in both bright areas and dark areas. That means shadows and highlight. In short, the wider the range, the more contrast you can retain without losing details. And that's why now I'm shooting in D-Log M. And by the way, you have clearly less noise in D-Log M than in D-Log. But one thing to know is that if you want to make that dual native ISO to work, you need to keep your ISO on auto. But you can keep your shutter speed and aperture on manual. So let me show you how I do it to keep my ISO at 100 every time. I leave my ISO on auto, lock my shutter speed at double my frame rate. So for 30 FPS, I set it to 1/60. Then I use an ND filter adapted to the weather condition. It's mostly ND 16PL for sunny days. I use the PolarPro ones, which keeps my ISO at 100. If needed, I adjust the aperture while keeping an eye on the histogram. I have also assigned a custom button on the RC2 to lock the exposure before recording. And it's really that simple. I'm not saying that D-Log is not good, but D-Log M with this technique is clearly better. So thank you Make Art Now for notice this. Now I can shoot better videos. However, I don't really understand why DJI choose to hide this feature. Instead of simply offering full manual control with dual native ISO in D-Log M, for example, or even D-Log, which is supposed to be the best profile to have the best quality out of a drone, on paper apparently. I have nothing to complain about it. Night footage looks really great, even at really high ISO. Don't forget to use a good denoiser to remove the noise, because you're gonna have noise at night for sure. Nothing more to say about night footage. I really like the new design of this drone. The body design makes it more resistant to wind and faster also. It's definitely a bit bulkier than the Mavic 3, but it also feels more robust. The gimbal that can rotate 360 and houses 3 cameras also seems more robust than the one on the Mavic 3. The obstacle sensors placed all around the drone, including a LiDAR sensor in the front for night flight, provide real confidence in avoiding crashes, even though I don't personally fully trust them. And by the way, you can enable the obstacle sensor view on your remote controller. In the bottom left corner of the screen, the cameras will automatically switch depending on your direction, which is very helpful during panning shots or backwards flights. I use this feature every time. I have really more trust on this feature, that I can see by my eyes what's happening behind me or on the side, than on the obstacle avoidance themselves. I choose the combo version with the RC2. If you want this to protect your controller, just leave me a comment below and I will send you the link to it. It's clearly not expensive and it's great because it can protect against the sun. Inside your backpack, you don't need to remove the sticks. Really great and really useful. Like I said, I choose this pack because I think it's more convenient for traveling. It's less bigger than the RC Pro 2, and by the way, the RC Pro 2 don't inspire me confidence in terms of durability. That's why I prefer to choose this one. The foldable and rotating screen seems more fragile to me, and I think it could cause issues over time. The version that I have of the Mavic 4 Pro don't include internal storage and also the all-intra codec. But as many people say, to really see the difference between all-intra codec and H.265, you need to watch your videos on a cinema screen, which is not my case. And to be honest, do you guys actually do that? Watching your videos on a cinema screen? Not me personally, so I don't think I need that. And honestly, paying more than 1,000 euro this combo with the internal storage and all-intra codec. And honestly, the internal storage can easily be replaced by an SD card. That's why I'm not seeing the point of paying more than 1,000 euro for something that I don't really need for my use, even for professional work. And if I want to shoot for cinema, for example, I think an Inspire will be better than the Mavic 4 Pro. I wanted to talk about the DJI Customer Service because I recently had to send back my Mavic 4 Pro, the first one that I bought, due to a spot on the 168mm lens. I must admit that I was a bit worried about how long it's gonna take, but I was really surprised by the speed of the DJI Customer Service. In less than a week, they already sent me a brand new unit. This one is brand new. I received it like 3-4 days ago, and I really appreciate the after-sales follow-up. Once I received the email for the replacement drone, I mean this one, they called me to explain the steps to follow when I receive it, if I know how to relink the controller, to do the firmware update, change the serial number on the government website, because when you do professional work in France, you need to register your drone on the website. They just call you to be sure you understand everything on the email, and then they call me back again one day after I received the drone to know if everything is working good on the drone. I rarely see a customer service like that. It's very professional. Final thoughts about this drone. If you're a professional or just a passionate pilot who want high quality videos and photos, this drone is for you. I'm okay that it's a bit bigger and heavier than the previous Mavic series and more compared to the mini series from DJI, but this is offering incredible versatility and creativity freedom. That's why I love it. The ability to shoot wide variety of shots with those different lenses, plus you can fly it in hard conditions, snow, really windy, without flinching. It's perfect. And for me, to be honest, it was extra kilos in my backpack. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. It was a pleasure to be back. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit also the bell if you want to receive a notification for my next video. That's all for me. Rideau.